Okay, so I'm doing alignment. This is post-track day, and this side over here was out of alignment. So I'm gonna show y'all how I do it in my alignment. So I'll show you. So these in here are caster. They can pretty much stay the same. I want all the caster, so that stays pretty much the same all the way back, giving me positive caster. Here, I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with camber plates, and all you have to do is loosen these up so it can slide up and down. And then I use my pry bar on this piece to push it back and forth. Unless you raise the car up, then it's easier to move it. But if you raise the car up, you have to be worried about the car not being unsettled and all that kind of stuff. So I just kind of just use a pry bar and move it. And then I just push the car back and forth and all that stuff. And just now, after I set the camber, so I got the camber close here. So after I set this one up and got it to negative 3.5, this went up to about negative 4. So one thing to keep in mind is, since I have caster, when you have a steering angle applied other than 0, you're getting a camber curve. So when I'm adjusting one side, based on the design of the suspension, when I pull that coilover backwards for negative camber, guess what it's doing? It's pushing on this tie rod end, which in turn pushes on this. So that also causes this side to have a steering angle. So even though it's negative 4, I'm not going to push this one back. I'm going to go ahead and put the toe back to 0, and then check the camber again and make sure that the camber maybe falls down to negative 3.5, or if it stays at negative 4, then maybe I'm just need to move it back. But we'll see after I adjust the toe. First I touched the camber, or the side that needed to be touched. I did the camber first. Now I'm going to do the toe, and then I'm going to check the camber again, see where I'm at, see if I need to make any adjustments. If not, then I'll go ahead and add the little fraction of toe out that I add. So let me show you how I measure the toe. So what I like to do is get my handy dandy measurer here, and I'm gonna get the exact length of my string here. I'm trying to do this while holding the camera. So the exact length of my string is about I'll just move it to 37. So I'm gonna move it to 37. So what I'll do is I'll find, so the upper part of my car kind of curves, but the side skirt of my car right here, right above it, seems to be a little bit more straight. So what I do is I find a spot here where it seems pretty straight on my door, and then I measure from this point to my storage wall. The reason for that is because I need to know how much of an angle my car is inside this storage. So if I angle these straight, what if my car is not completely straight? Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't back in completely straight. There might be a slight angle to how I backed in. So the way that I'll know that is by using the car and the storage wall as a reference point, measure that, and then measure these to the wall, and then make them have the same measurement, not the exact same measurement, but the same distance between both points. So this point and then this point. So let's say that point might have a longer distance when I measured on my car. So I'll move that one back like 2 fractions, and then I'll keep this one, you know, where it is. That way, this string is following the line of my car. So that's how I do it. I haven't done it yet, but that's what I'm gonna do. And I decided to make a video just to show a simple way until I get more expensive equipment. Having toe plates underneath it, or little skid plates, whatever you call them, would help tremendously. So that way I didn't have to keep on rolling it back and forth, pushing down on it and trying to get it to adjust to what it's supposed to be, because the friction is causing it to not, you know, give me an accurate measurement when I'm making adjustments. So, all right. Okay, so on this, let me give it, well, you can see. So here, I'm on the driver's side. This is an Acura RSX, so it's left-hand drive, American car. I'm on the driver's side. So making this go downwards, like that, down, is toe out, and then pushing it upwards is toe in. When you loosen this lock nut, just make sure you have another wrench to hold on to this, so you can apply pressure to this without it spinning. And it's not reverse. Basically, the way you would look at it, so let's say you're looking at it from this point of view, you're looking that way. So if you're looking that way, which way would you screw a top on a Coca-Cola bottle? You would go this way. So screwing a top on a Coca-Cola bottle would make it go down this way. So that's how you would undo this lock nut from this tie rod end right here. And then when you're ready to tighten it down, of course, you would go that way. So that's how you'll do it. And I have my string set up here, as you can see. So one thing I want to mention is I don't have any like plates or anything to help the tires kind of rotate without experiencing heavy friction on the floor. So anytime I make an adjustment on the tie rod, I come over here and I kind of wiggle the steering wheel back and forth and then put it back to center. So now it's at center. That will make sure that the steering wheel, so that would make sure that the steering wheel is actually straight and that the tie rods didn't actually move it around, because it forces the steering wheel to move instead of the actual tire to move, or not the steering wheel, but the slider to move instead of the actual tire, because there's so much friction or whatever, you know, the case may be. I just do it that way so it gets straight, and I have an accurate reading when I measure the distance from the front and the rear part of the rim. So